Episode number 8 of Spinnovation Summit podcast is all about virtual sports. We had an honor to host Mr. Robert Toth, Business Development Manager at GlobalBet, one of the leaders in virtual sports products, well known for the highest quality of their virtual games engine. Robert uncovered such popular topics as what makes virtual sports a true source of innovations, what do players mostly love, and why they keep returning to make bets on virtuals. On top of that, we had a live brainstorming discussion on few innovative ideas in regards to betting products which might become real in the nearest future. Episode number 8 of Spinnovation Summit podcast starts now.
Okay, let us slowly start and slowly engage into the most exciting panel that we're going to have, and that is the Innovative Panel Showcase. Our amazing panelists here, Robert Toth from the GlobalBet.
Hello.
Innovative section in this panel discussion is something that we wanted to make in a format that we demonstrate the specific titles and the specific games. However, of course, there are plenty of questions to be discussed. And Robert, you're representing the company that is very well established in the virtual sports. And the products that you guys produce are truly amazing. They look almost like a live game of football or a live game of basketball and other titles that you have. When did you start to develop the games? Did you start from a scratch, or did you take some technology from other company or from other operators? How did it all start with you guys?
We started developing the virtual football product that we first had. This was the first game that we launched. We started developing it in 2012. To be honest, we tried with some animations that were already available on the market. We tried to buy them, and we noticed that the movements of the players are not realistic. So the next step was to find a motion capture studio where we could record real football players. We recorded for 2 weeks, every kick, every move. We combined all the motions that we recorded, and we created the first version of virtual football. It was a massive success. I don't know if you're familiar with virtual football. Maybe I should start with talking a little bit about virtual sports. It's kind of a niche product between sports betting and casino. I would say 6 or 5 years ago, not many people know about virtual sports, but today it's something that every operator should have in his portfolio. Otherwise, he's missing out on a huge opportunity. It's a lot of work to develop such a game. Meanwhile, we have 14 different games, but virtual football and virtual basketball are definitely our strongest ones.
Okay, well, the panels that we had before, there was a lot of theoretical discussion. Now, let's try to make it really, really practical. What is the frequency of betting to the virtual sports? I'm sure you guys have the statistics available. We're always trying to compare what is the percentage of betting on the virtual sports against the betting on the real events and the real sports. Do you guys have this kind of the stats?
Yes, we do. We do have these stats for different markets. The easiest way is to look at markets that are regulated. For instance, in Italy, we're talking about the sports betting market of 1.5 billion euros. 26% roughly of this is virtual sports. So you can imagine what scale it has. We can also talk about emerging markets like Nigeria, where you see a completely different betting behavior. At the beginning, virtual sports was something very new and people didn't really understand it and didn't really know how it works. Meanwhile, we have betting shops where over 70% of the revenue is generated by virtual sports. And it's a sort of revenue, unlike sportsbook, that at the end of the month always creates profit. With sportsbook, sometimes you can have a good month, a bad month, but with virtual sports, you know at the end of the month how much money you make.
What are the most playable sport titles across your games? Is that virtual football?